Now I had to leave my seat in front of my big screen TV. I'd go down, hide in the basement, close the drapes, etc. As I mentioned, make sure nobody was around, put the blanket over my head, and watch the little portable TV so that nobody would know that I was watching the forbidden program. And folks, remember, you're sworn to secrecy. Don't tell anybody. I could be highly fined by the AEW board of directors that meets every Thursday at noon on the front porch of Funk and Wagnalls. So anyway, this television program on August 12th, All Friends Wrestling, started out with two of the friends, the Young Bucks entrance, all 390 pounds of both of them, and they are immediately, see, they're in this ratings war. That's why I said NXT wasn't really fucking firing a goddamn hot shot in this ratings war, because they started out with Karrion Kross and getting a win. These guys start out with who is allegedly their top tag team in their own minds, and suddenly, before the match even starts, they're jumped by three members of the Dork Order, and the great tag team is laid out by three masked children. Then, correct me when I say something that's untrue, Brian. They lay the Bucks out, and then they throw Nick over in the corner, or Matt, Road Warrior Buck over in the corner somewhere. They dump Balding Buck into the ring. Then Pizzeria Uno and Dick Grayson come out. I know his name is Stu, but JR likes to call him Dick, and he looks like one. So Pizzeria Uno and Dick Grayson come out. They're the Dork Orders that are supposed to wrestle this match. And they get in the ring with the three minions on the ground after they've already beaten Balding Buck up and dumped him in the ring. And the referee rings the bell to start the match with two heels, three on the floor, and one babyface in the ring. And now the match can start. Are you with me so far?
Oh, I'm with you.
A minute in, folks, watch this. Go back and watch that. I told you, keep it on your DVR. A minute in, Balding Buck fires up, and he goes to hit the ropes to come off with an evil offensive maneuver, right? But Pizzeria Uno is on the apron, and he was supposed to spread the ropes out, put his leg over the middle rope and pull the top rope up. But since he was A, all the way in the corner where there's the least slack on the cables, and B, fucking late to the fucking task to begin with, he spread the ropes out about 2 inches, and Nick just flew straight through head first onto the floor through the ropes that were almost exactly the same place they would be in if he had run to hit them and spring and come off of them. And then when he landed on the fucking ground, the heels came over and grabbed him, but here came finally Road Warrior Buck in the nick of time, did a front flip dive off the stage, completely over the top of all three of the Dork Odor stooges, and they all fell down anyway. He landed on his feet after rolling over the back of one of them, and the other two in the front, who he never even touched, just fell down. Did you see this? Did you see this?
Yep, I saw it.
Okay. I did make a note that Balding Buck's hair is growing. It's down to his ass in the back, and that's just his hairline. He looked like fucking Shawn Michaels in the back and fucking Steve Austin in the front. At one point,
if Crystal Gale joined the Mongols.
Crystal Gale as the Mongols. Yeah. Don't it make my brown eyes wear a pigtail and a puffy jacket? Stu Grayson, don't call me Dick, got a headlock with his right arm and tagged out with his left at one point on one of the opponents. That's more egregious to those of us in the business, and it looks so stupid rather than the average layman out there. Road Warrior Buck made one of his comebacks, but these schlubs sold less than anybody ever. They barely only took like a bump apiece on one of them. Pizzeria Uno's wrist tape came unraveled, just like this match was, and it was fucking falling over. Their costumes were actually falling off of each other. Grayson and the Bucks got together and did some awkward high school cheerleading routines. And I swear to God now, folks, you got to go back and watch this too. You know what? We're especially the DVR numbers are going to be through the roof on this fucking program. Pizzeria Uno at one point got so fucking lost with what he was doing that he went to tag out to Stu Grayson. And when he made the tag to Stu Grayson with his left hand, he slapped his own thigh on the tag. Go back and watch it. I goddamn double dog dare anybody. He slapped his fucking thigh on the tag. I realized at that point that Pizzeria Uno's entire outfit and presentation looks like a pissed-on charcoal brick at a campfire.
You know what, though? To be fair, he looks like he's lost a lot of weight.
Good for him. That'll help his cholesterol.
Yeah, but it's not like it hasn't made him look better. Like it wasn't like
he's
just
not
lose weight.
Going to look good. And I've seen him without his fucking mask. I thought he was the goddamn ECW arena concession stand guy that was boiling the hot dogs. And he looked like he was overqualified or underqualified to have that fucking chore. This is the blandest, most plain, just ass face looking motherfucker you've ever seen. He's never going to look good physically, facially, whatever, or in a wrestling ring. This went forever, so I checked, and I was 7 minutes into this thing. Backslap tag. I think this match was bad, but I think the next one, I don't think. No, wait a minute. Is it this one? There was one that I never saw a legal tag made. I think it's the next match. Anyway, they got some heat on old Road Warrior Buck, old Matt. They got heat on him for a while. And then he killed it by making his own comeback, bumping both heels, and then doing a comedy bit where he crawled under the ring and then crawled back out to try to make the tag to his brother, which would have worked if he'd gotten the tag. They almost did something right here. They get heat on fucking Matt. He starts making his own comeback. He throws numerous shots. And I've always said, you can't make your own comeback. You have to fight back, but you can't go too far and you must be stopped down, or elsewise you've made your own comeback and you've shit on your fucking hot tag to your partner. He makes his own comeback. Both heels take a fucking bump for him. Then he's on the floor surrounded by the other minions. He ducks under the ring and fucking crawls under the ring. And as they're going to get him, he comes out the other side, rolls in the ring, and goes to tag, and they cut him off. If he had fought back with a few punches and they had fucking pickled him and he had taken a bump to the fucking floor and all the heels are fucking laughing instead of watching him, and he crawls under the goddamn ring and comes out the other side, they turn around, it's too late, and he gets the tag, that would have been a pop. But he makes his own comeback and then just gets stopped by the heels being a resourceful babyface. He's a fucking idiot. Then Balding Buck made a comeback and actually said to the camera, which was picked up on the microphone and then reinforced by the announcers who repeated it, best comeback in the business. This fucking 180-pound, fishy white, balding, long-haired, middle-aged, simpering twit makes a fucking indie-level comeback on a couple of outlaw-looking fucking heels, and then on national television says, best comeback in the business, because both their fucking noses are so far up their own sphincters they can smell what they had for dinner last week, and they love the smell of it, because that's all they listen to is their own bullshit. And then it struck me that this was Shawn Michaels' level of unprofessional without the level of his talent on the comeback, which was a joke. So best comeback in the business. Yeah, get back to me when you work on that one, you little fucking skin back fucking penis.
Best skullet in the business.
Now that I'll go with. Anyway, then they did some more contrived, flippy, stupid, and illogical things to the heels. I wrote at this time, why can't they even imagine a match that makes any sense? Then they did the most contrived, phony-looking, four-way tumbling routine that I've ever seen for a 2 count. That's the only way I could describe it. It's one of those ones where the opponents just broke down any fucking pretense and started aiding each other, and they walked across somebody's shoulders, and I don't fucking know. The whole thing, especially the Dork Order, but then when they get with these guys, they look like a family tumbling group on America's Got Talent, except those people are really awe-inspiring with what they do, and they're a little bit more violent. But it's a fucking tumbling. Then they threw Matt Jackson down the entrance tunnel, and 3 guys in the Dork Order mass block the entrance, and they go to do a double team maneuver to Nick in the ring, and suddenly he foiled it and rolled up Fat Boy 1, 2, 3. So, one babyface beat 5 of the fucking heels in their supposed, well, who knows what a top heel group is in this fucking fiasco. 1 against 5. Should have waited till a few more showed up to help the 5. Did I recap it approximately correctly?
Yeah, approximately.
Was there anything redeeming in this match to show that anybody had a fucking clue about how to perform on a major league level?
I'm sure if you're a fan of the Young Bucks and their style of matches, you probably really enjoyed this. They did a lot of tricks. Unfortunately, they're doing a lot of the same tricks over and over. Go ahead and rip this one up. That's fine.
Tricks. Silly Wabbit. Tricks are for kids.
Stu Grayson has impressed me lately with what he could do. Unfortunately, he's in there with... I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks style of match. And if you want to tell me that they're going to do a lot of the things they do within the confines of a traditional tag team match with rules and without just constant chaos and just, it's not the kind of wrestling I like. It's not the kind of wrestling a lot of people don't like.
There was a double negative in there, but I got where you're coming from.
Yeah,
It's not a kind of wrestling, though. It's kind of tumbling. It's kind of performance. But we're really taxing the definition, aren't we, with wrestling?
I've watched some of their stuff with my kids who are gymnasts, and they don't look at them like wrestlers. They look at them as guys trying to do gymnastics. And I'm just not a fan of the Young Bucks style of matches. To me, it doesn't do it. But again, to a lot of the AEW fans, this is exactly what they want, and I'm sure to them, it was a perfectly acceptable Young Bucks performance.
There is a guy in Germany that we know for a fact likes having his balls nailed to a step stool.
I don't know this. I've heard you speak of this gentleman, but I'm going to just throw out there, I don't know this for a fact.
We're going to call him the step stool gentleman. We'll ask some of your old friends still have that videotape, I'm sure. You know a bunch of people that circulated that tape quite a while back.